Welcome back to the MMA Scene. Today's video presents...
Yeah, and this fight, July 29th, this is like shaping up to be one of the biggest combat sports nights of the summer, right? Like we have Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence on the same night as you. When you heard that, I know you're such a big boxing fan, were you like bummed out being like, man, I can't sit at home and watch this? Or are you feeling like it's going to bring even more attention, right? Because everyone's going to be at home watching fights that night.
We'll see. I don't know if it's going to affect pay-per-view or whatnot, but I think real fight fans might buy both. You know, the BMF belt's on the line. Last time the BMF belt was on the line, Canelo was fighting. So I had a fight party at my house, and we got both the fights, you know, and turned it into a big fight night event. So we'll see what happens. But I'm kind of upset I'm not going to be able to watch that live, man. I'm a huge boxing fan. And to me, this is a super fight.
Yeah, who do you think wins?
Oh, man, that's a tough one, bro. I'm going with Crawford.
Yeah, it's hard to predict. Yeah, and it was crazy that first fight. Like when they did the first BMF one, they like delayed Canelo's fight. Remember that? He was like sitting in the back waiting for them to wrap out the main event. That's pretty wild, man. Well, I guess speaking of the BMF title, what was your reaction? I guess when they mentioned this coming on, like I think Justin had said in an interview, you guys were talking about doing this fight. He said he actually wanted August, like 3 rounds in Boston, and then they kind of upped the stakes with like a pay-per-view main event and this putting on it. Was that kind of the same process you had? Do you always want like a 5-round main event for this?
I mean, 5 rounds is opportunity to give and take more damage, you know, so 25 minutes is a long time to fight. When it's this style of any fight, but especially this style of fight where we're going to try to bust each other up good. It is what it is, man. I think, you know, I've seen people excited about the BMF title. I've seen people not, you know, try not to curse, talking stuff about it.
Say whatever you want.
Yeah, talking shit about it. It is what it is. To me, if you look at our track record, look at Justin's history, look at my history, I mean, it just makes sense. You know, it just makes sense to me.
No, I agree. I mean, I tweeted out when they announced it, like 24 fight night bonuses between the two of you. I think you have 13, he has 11, something like that. So like what more could you ask for a recipe for a fight like this? I mean, I don't even think Jorge and Nate had that level of kind of statistics attached to it.
Right. And this, all the fight of the year contenders we've been in since, you know, he has ones coming from other organizations into the UFC fight of the year contenders. I have a bunch on the you know, that were voted on. So it just makes sense. This is going to be a great fight.
Yeah. And you've probably seen that BMF belt like a million times. I'm pretty sure it's in the trophy case at American Top Team when you walk through the front doors, right? So like, did it even ever cross your mind like, hey, maybe one day that'll come back around? Or do you always think it was just going to sit in that case?
Yeah, it never crossed my mind that I would be fighting for a BMF belt, but it's awesome, man. I'd love to hang that up in my living room.
Thanks for watching us. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to get the latest news first.